Coming at you from Scratch Wolf Studio, it's that time again to rage across the internet. It's your very favorite Werewolf the Apocalypse podcast. As always, I'm your host, Porter. Sitting to my left, a man who may have adjusted his count a bit, Mr. Daniel Tyson.
Hey, everybody.
Coming to my right is the guy who spent the last 3 months on a boat. It's Mr. Tommy Dixon.
How's it going?
And beaming in from deep in the heart of Texas, Mr. CJ.
Howdy, y'all.
Perfect.
How'd you like that clap, by the way?
No, that was perfect. How are we doing, gentlemen?
Perfect timing.
Oh, man.
It's recording day.
It is a recording day. It's a weird recording day.
Yeah. Kind of a bummer, but understandable.
Yeah, no, I hate getting together with you dicks.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, even CJ doesn't like it. He's like, I could be doing so many better things right now.
But, hey, we're here and making a show of something.
But see, it sounds like he means it now, right? Like we were making jokes. He's like, yeah, well, but I guess we'll make the best of it.
Oh, yes.
Fuck.
Didn't want to be here anyway.
Oh my god. No, it's kind of a weird day. Full disclosure, this was normally our game day.
Mm-hmm.
And things come up as they tend to do, which is why Melissa isn't here. But next time, certainly. I mean, not chronologically. Who knows how this is?
Chronologically, no, there's no way.
No feasible way.
Can we just stop playing with time here?
Everything is a nightmare.
Every time we do this, we screw ourselves, so let's not date a thing.
I mean, like Siege May.
Yeah, Siege May.
Yeah, that worked
was
out
a happy
so
accident.
well. Yeah, it was.
Siege Bay, it's half of June.
And then turns out it wasn't, because no one here knows how math works.
Nope.
Again, where we keep dating things and screwing ourselves.
It's the same problem that always comes up when you deal with time travel and anything.
Right?
That's 100% true.
Just don't do it.
Stay on that linear path.
No, but so this is a weird one today. This was supposed to be our game day. And then, obviously, sometimes things come up and something came up. So, Mel's not with us today. And we said, well, we still have to put a show on.
Yes,
so
we do.
here we are.
Yeah, we still need content to put out on the air.
Right. So you can allegedly listen and have a good time.
I hope so.
Allegedly.
I allegedly hope so.
That's a weird sentence.
Yeah, I don't know if that's how that goes.
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
Is it?
Even CJ's like, what?
Yes, this is it's been pretty hot lately. I'll say that.
Oh.
It has not been a pleasant season. Temperature-wise, at least.
No, we jumped from freaking almost spring to summer quickly again.
Right.
Welcome to weather down here.
I'm
Goes
surprised
from
you
spring
have
for a
weather.
week to summer for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I was about to say, isn't it just like summer 90% of the time down there?
They're about, yeah. Until we start getting like an inch of snow and people don't know how to drive or anything, and nobody knows what's going on.
I've had that happen. I was in Arkansas, and they got a half-inch of snow, and they literally, Little Rock shut down. They're like,
Wow.
we don't know, we're all going to die. And
Nope. I have family who moved from here to Texas, and I'm pretty sure they moved pretty close to UCJ, but they moved like 10 years ago. In the weekend, my uncle moved there. They got like a couple inches of snow, and they shut down the entire area. And my uncle's like, yeah, well, I just had this last week, so everything's fine. I know what I'm doing.
Well, the
Used to
thing
you.
is there, that couple inches of snow does look like a foot because everything's bigger down here.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. I mean, don't y'all drive trucks? You can easily get through that stuff.
they don't know that, though.
Oh.
See, they don't see snow normally. So, like, what's that white shit? Is it poison?
Poison, yes.
It's acid.
I mean, like, there's a couple guys out there with straws thinking, they're going to have a party. It's like it's the 80s all of a sudden, do a couple lines.
Is it powder teeth from all the meth?
It's,
Is it my birthday?
they have choices. They have to make a decision.
Wow.
I'd like purposely go out in a couple inches of snow because that's when it's fun.
Yeah, but to them, it's like it's fucking ground demons. What are you going to do? This is how you know we had a show planned.
Yeah.
Yes. Just riffing on life right now.
See how much of this actually lands and gets on the show. But,
We'll see.
That said, so what I thought we would do today, since we don't have a game going, and this was something that I planned on for our last scheduled game day that we also had to push back because I got sick. A little behind the scenes for you guys. But I thought we'd do a bit of a roundtable. In terms of the actual play.
Yeah, I mean, we've had our questions, our Q&A episodes, but like we have our own stuff and we can't always talk about what had just happened on our game day because at that point it's spoilers for everybody.
And we're in currently a fortunate position to where by the time this airs,
everything we've played has
will have aired.
Yeah.
So you guys can say whatever about what you have done so far and
yeah, we're not spoiling anything anymore.
Exactly. So I thought it would be a good time for us to do a little bit of a roundtable, discuss what's going on, the game, and maybe this will be interesting to people. If not, well, tune in next time.
Sure. I'm just trying to think, where do we want to start with this roundtable? Because we have talked about it a little bit during the Q&As.
That's true, but too bad. Well, I'll tell you what. Something I have learned in the 3 years we have been doing this is that, is it fair called through? We're on year 3. Are we?
Close enough?
We're close enough. Like you got like 2 or 3 months, maybe even 2, and it would officially be year 3.
Something I've noticed in the years we've been doing this is that you have to say things more than once.
It's true.
I mean, y'all are on our Discord, which, hey guys, you can find the link to at our website. That's rageacrosstheinternet.com.
.com.
Hey.
4.
Don't type 4 of those in.
No, you don't need. You can just do the 1.
How stupid of us. Still doing it.
That's a lot of it's fun. We enjoy.
It's fine.
But again,
It's
have to. It is, but we have to bring that up a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We have to bring up all the time that we have a Ko-Fi, ko-fi.com/rageacrosstheinternet, which is where you can go to support us. And if you don't want to support us financially, or you can't, because times are tough. If you can, please and thank you. Come on.
Yeah, we appreciate
but if you can't, that's cool too. Just word of mouth. Tell people about us. Get hyped. Come hang out. All the good things.
Yeah. Reviews, likes, shares.
Yeah, we're here for you, but we need you to be here for us too, and that's what it comes down to.
Please and thank you.
Right, please and thank you. But that said, like I've noticed, you have to say things a lot. Every show potentially is somebody's first show.
Correct.
And, it's like, yeah, I've told this story before. And if you've listened to every episode, if you're with us, then maybe you've heard the story a couple times. But hopefully you enjoy the story and you're with it. But there are people who haven't listened to the story yet. And maybe that story still matters, or it's still important, or hopefully it's still entertaining.
Depending on the story.
Oh. Oof. The truth is coming out. Daniel Tyson does not like this fucking show.
No.
Yeah.
He is such an asshole.
I mean, you are half true. I'm such an asshole.
He's 50% true. I couldn't resist.
No, it's perfect.
I'm just saying I've put more time into the show than you have.
I mean, you've been on more episodes than Tom.
Yes.
But I'm right here.
Yeah, I was talking to Tom.
Oh, okay. Because, the studio is in my living room.
Yes.
Like, there's not an episode without me on it.
You're right. There are very few without me, but I've had my hand in every single one of them.
Gross.
Bad touch.
Get out of my cookie jar.
Oof, he just made it worse.
He did.
Everybody.
Yeah, do you need a shovel for that hole you're digging?
No, he's got a big enough shovel.
It's just fine.
I'm concerned who's going to put in that hole.
Oh, boy. Zing.
Yes, but at the same time, I find the stories entertaining.
good, I hope.
I've heard the stories like 5 to 10 times, and I still enjoy hearing them. So,
but again, it's like which story? But the point is, is you're going to say things more than once. We're talking to an audience we've been on for years. We say shit like, hey, you should skip the first few or whatever. Or we have shows that we know we've revisited and we've done a better job with. And it's like, well, yeah, maybe don't listen to that one. Well, then there's shit that we said on that one that...
It's true.
Yeah.
It's just part of it. And it's not a one-for-one. But, the Drew and Mike show is a big influence here. And, Drew and Mike, they were on the air for 20-some years. On the radio. Guess what?
They're still...
They told... You heard some stories.
They recycled a lot of their stuff came back a few times.
And they were excellent. So, if I'm looking at that for inspiration, I don't feel bad.
Yeah, they were number 1 for a long time.
About 20 years. They were number 2 when they got off the air.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, and they were forced off the air.
That's true. Yeah. Also, like radio for 3. So
it's true.
Sorry, everybody.
Yeah, but you can still Google it and find out what it is if you wanted.
You can. Hell, they have a, they ain't showing for us.
Not sponsored.
Wherever Gaia takes us.
It was a very vague opening title, but it quickly became relevant in the very first story.
I'm still asking the question, where's she taking us?
I mean, you're finding out.
I know. Still lost.
Are you?
I'm not found.
Oh, boy, this motherfucker.
It just doesn't want to be.
CJ, you want to throw this kid a life preserver?
I mean, with where Gaia takes us, it's got a lot of room to lead to a lot of different things, especially when we're still chasing all these dreams all over the place.
Fuck.
He did that purposely.
Yeah,
that was
did.
Good.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, the dreams have stopped. For the last few nights, at least.
Right. Well,
And I guess that would be one of the things I'm looking forward to, or future in writing, more dreams to help solidify we're doing the correct thing.
Well,
or to help guide us.
But I mean, that's the thing is, we started, obviously I didn't want to waste anybody's time.
Mm-hmm.
I've listened to some actual plays. I know this is me. This is a me thing, and I'm acknowledging this because I don't want to say it's about preference and not necessarily quality. Like, I'm not slagging anybody off here, but I need to get to it. I'm the same way with with video games sometimes. Like, I really want to play this game, and then they're like, here's your tutorial level. Mm-hmm. I'm like, shut the fuck up. I can figure out how to play a video game. All right. Don't tell me that use the control stick to move your character. Fuck off. Let me play.
I will look around. Yeah, I hate that.
It's insulting to my intelligence. And it's, you get these games and you get to the first episode or whatever, and they'll talk about their characters and what, like, this is my tribe and this is what this tribe's about, or this is what this auspice means. Like, I already fucking know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm here because I'm into werewolf. Stop talking to me like I've never heard of this. And I understand the compulsion to do that because, new people. Oh,
yes. A lot of new people, and we're seeing it all the time.
Right. But see, that's where it differs. Like, with my philosophy with the game is like, you will learn by listening.
Yeah, we did.
When you go into a movie, you don't first have to read a book about what the movie is going to be about. You find out what the movie's about by watching the movie. So, I'm sorry, go ahead, Siege.
Oh, yeah, I will say, and plus with the podcast as a whole, even if, it wasn't like this, if we were just doing the actual play, I could see us spending a little bit more time, maybe delving into, the tribes and auspices a little bit more, but you guys already have episodes for that, so don't have to.
Well, see, I still wouldn't. I just would make sure to make a point to do that in game. Do it in the story. Exactly. Show, don't tell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Bring it to life. Don't. I understand.
Yeah, again, it's a personal thing. I get impatient. Hi, I'm Jeff, and I play Runs Around the Worm a lot, and that means that this is what the worm is. Shut the fuck up and play the game. Just fucking, what's the story? Just do it. And again, it's not having to go at anybody, and I understand why. I do not have the patience to sit through it.
I was just laughing at Runs Around the Worm a lot.
What was in my heart?
Yeah, it came off the top of his head.
They can't all be trash mouth.
Dude, the trash can clan. I love that name.
That's a backer exclusive right there.
No, excellent.
No spoilers.
But yes, you're right. So if we're playing the game, we're assuming that if you don't already know what these things are, you will learn as you listen.
Well, that's the idea.
Like if someone didn't know what a philodox was, and all of a sudden they start listening, they'll start realizing soon that the philodox is the one who's the kind of the lawmaker, the mediator
The
of what's
lawyer.
going on.
He's your
The
lawyer.
one who gets thrown under the bus a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, that too.
The judge, jury, and the lawyer.
That's the idea, right? Is
Right.
you should be able to, through my storytelling and you paying attention, like the combination of the two, you should be able to piece that shit together, just like you would any other thing you might be watching or listening to.
Right.
You know, that's, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm nuts, maybe I'm the asshole here, I don't know, but that was my philosophy to it, is I wanted to get you straight into the action. You know, that's why we didn't, run you guys' rite of passages. That's why we didn't have you guys meet at that sept in Indiana and do the, oh, who are you? Oh, who are you? Oh, I guess we're in this together. Did we all have the same dreams? Wow, that's crazy. Well, what do you think we should do now? Hey, look, older person, you also had some dreams and you're looking to help us? Oh, let's all go together. That's going to be like 3 fucking games and everyone's already bored.
Look, and you just did that. That would have been episode 0. And you did that
took
in
you
30
5
seconds.
Yeah. But that would have been like 3 games.
But that's essentially exactly how we met up, so...
But we could just know that.
Right.
Yeah,
We can
it's
assume
pretty
it.
simple, yeah.
What's up, Danny?
I'm just laughing at the way you said it.
But tell me it's not how it would have went.
That's exactly what it would have.
Yeah. Like in a nutshell, that's how that story goes. And that story is the same across so many games on the planet right now.
Wasted away again in my... Sorry.
Long lost the shaker of a sorte.
Exactly.
I forgot I did that. That was
I
fun.
love that line.
We could have done the episodes on, our beginning, the actual meeting up and everything, but jumping straight into the car with Falling Leaf and into Willow's Pass, I think was definitely the better start for this, since, once again, didn't have to bore everybody with the beginnings that you've heard or played through yourself 50 times by now.
And I like that because it plays on the mystery. It helps breathe more life into the mystery of what's going to happen.
Agreed.
Well, one hopes so. And that's the thing is, we've started, we're 7 chapters in, we finished chapter 7. Maybe we talk about some of those mysteries.
They're still mysteries.
There's still mysteries, though.
No, but there are things you guys certainly know or have theories on at this point. I mean,
There are things we've made logical guesses on, but have we 100% figured out?
well, then I guess we don't have a show. Fuck it. Let's all go home. Will you fucking play ball?
Play ball and theorize with him because, he's right.
We're trying to put a show on, sir.
Yes, yes.
So,
yes.
okay, we'll start with, yes, we know there is some type of cult happening with the high schoolers and the family. I can't think of the family's name at the moment. The notes are here. But
The Willows?
The Willows, yes. There's something wormish going on there.
And it's been going on for a while, if our little jaunt through the Umbra at that campsite's to be believed.
The thing that I still scratch my head at is why is all this wild happening? That is something we have not really touched on.
Well, we touched on it a little bit, and we can say 100% certain that it is definitely not just 1 or 2 of them at this point. Like, that's something we might have to really fucking deal with sometime soon.
Well, that's because of the type of wild spirit it is. Being a cedar is what Porter calls it. It's gonna keep breeding. What the problem is what brought it here. It could just be happenstance because it's wild. Wild, just crazy, wild.
I mean, that's possible. And the cedar, again, that's an original creation, which fun.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Fun.
I've got to have a lot of fun with some creature designs in this chronicle.
I like this creature because being a cedar, you don't know. Like, this thing could just be popping up everywhere because it's been mass producing itself on this island. And this island's not small. So there could be many, many, many of them, and we don't know.
It's a scary thought in itself.
Right. So, I think that's a thread that we might have to be chasing down shortly, especially after hearing at the end of what happened at Chapter 7.
I was going to say, at this point, they've heard the end of 7.
Yeah, that's the thing is, we can talk about it. True. That's okay.
Yeah.
That scene with KT at the end there, I had been looking forward to that for quite some time.
I imagine you had that one written for a while.
Yeah, in fact, CJ might be able to help narrow it down. I don't know, because he and I were playing some Dead by Daylight one night. And we're just talking, and the scene popped into my head, and I kind of flipped out.
It was, I think, like a week or two after we did, after we blew up the Wendy's, because there was the issue of us going, or after that session, or the session after that, where we had all left it where he had expected us to go right, and we were just chatting about, like, how do you change a scene like that, or timing is important. And then I heard that moment that the scene apparently entered his mind, and oh boy, that was a fun moment to just experience.
It's always great when a scene hits Porter's brain, because literally the way it's always great.
Oh, I was
because you can see it going, and you can hear it in his voice when it hits.
Yeah, his eyes light up, like your eyes just widen, and like something happens, and we all know it.
Yep. Anytime it happens, I want to throw him at the computer and go start typing.
If I remember, it was like a really shitty night of DVD that we were just trying to salvage, and then boom, it instantly got better.
Yeah, I had to go and I wrote it on an envelope. I grabbed a pencil. Yeah, and the first thing I could find was hey, you can save with Geico or what? I don't know what the fuck. Some kind of junk mail, and I'm just like, oh my god. I gotta write this down before I forget.
That's when you just mute CJ for a minute and you do speak to text.
That was it was one of those things that was really important for me that it landed, because I saw it so vividly. The cedars coming up in slow mo. I could cinematically. It's just there's its jaws. It's coming up on her. It's about to fucking, and then it's just this shockwave in the air. And as the wave passes through the cedar, it changes, and it's like, oh god, it was such a cinematic moment. I'm like, I hope I didn't fuck that up on the day.
No, because I literally see it exactly like that. I mean, like a superhero thing where they got the shockwave of the explosion and it's hitting things. I saw it to that, and I'm like, that's just insane. And I still don't know what the fuck she is.
Oh no, and it's fun because there are, I want to say, 4, maybe 5 different theories on the Discord.
I've been wanting to research, but I'm trying not. I don't want to, because I want it to be naturally happening. I want to research and try to figure out what she is, but I'm trying my hardest not to, because I don't want to spoil.
But that's the thing, is we can do that in game.
No, I know, but I'm saying out of game, I just holding myself back on digging through books.
You guys have enough episodes out, and we know enough already out of character that I have a feeling, a good day or two of just solid research and pouring through books, we could figure out exactly what KT is.
Yes, I guarantee we could.
But where's the fun in that?
Exactly. I want this to naturally come to fruition through the lens of my character.
Which is always a fun place to be in. And let's talk about that for a second.
Sure.
How do we feel about our characters?
I mean, I'll start that. Mine has been not what I wrote it. He's a lot more calm, more sage-like, I should say. That's not the way I kind of wrote him. I wrote him as a mouthy, gonna, just literally you tell him a secret and he's gonna tell everybody. That's how I originally wrote him. He's just gonna...
And a hothead?
A hothead, yeah. And I played him off a little bit as a hothead at the start, but then that kind of faded away.
Yeah.
So he's evolving into... I like where he's going.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not where I started. It's not how I originally started, which is why I like the way that we do things. I try to keep that starting character kind of this is what I'm thinking he's going to be, but as I play him, let's see how he evolves. And I like him better going this way.
Which is hilarious.
Because he's going to be more, I want him to be more mystic. Because
I wrote mine the complete opposite. I wrote him trying to be more of a calm, defender, and
so we flipped roles.
Yeah,
there.
we flipped, which is hilarious because we were the opposite when it came to Jaeger and Ghost.
That's true.
And now we're we wrote each other. We wrote the characters opposite of what we wanted, and yet what we wrote is still opposite of what we're doing now.
Right.
This is ridiculous. I kind of love it, though.
Yes, our interactions have been entertaining.
Yeah.
And they've been very fun to try and mediate.
Yes, I'm sure you're having a field day with that, CJ. our 14-year-old trying to mediate us.
14-year-old who may or may not have a backpack with his own custom comic that he's been writing in the downtime.
Ooh.
And that's the fun part with, y'all two going with, like, the exact opposites of your characters. Nightfang, I still believe, is, like, holding on pretty tightly to what I had originally in mind, but thanks to, like, a few little interactions here and there, he's still fairly close to what I had in mind, but he's trying to keep, like, his wannabe superhero on the down low until he gets the moments to show it off.
Yeah,
you're playing him off like that pretty well, because I've seen it.
Yeah,
I do
those
like
give
it.
him the
moments.
chance.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I like it. I really do like the way you wrote him.
Yeah, he's been a fun character to play and start figuring out, and slowly getting away from the focus purely on the superhero aspect.
But if that moment comes to fruition, you're taking full advantage of it.
Oh yeah, you give him a moment to go jumping through a window to get stuck into a fight. He's gonna do it.
At least you did that silently, unlike somebody.
I'll save you, Ricochet!
That was a good ending on 7-1, though. I like that.
Oh, yeah. I had that plan. Because, again, we all knew the whole trailer layout. It's like
100%, yes.
What almost every trailer looks like. So in my head, that's exactly what I'm doing. And I'm just watching like, okay, well, I'm away from everybody. Yep. We're going to get to everybody as fast as possible.
Trailer walls aren't thick. I've gone through them before.
But I'm saying that, yes, I wrote him the opposite, and I'm doing the opposite of what I wrote him as. But it just goes back to him evolving. And I have ideas of what, and again, we were supposed to play today.
Right.
And I have an idea of what I wanted to do today because I have an idea of what's supposed to happen or what's going to happen. Huh?
Because I told you?
Yeah, but you're not the only one.
I know. I know.
Yeah. At this time, it's almost a 4-way rope.
I know. It's going to get interesting. That's why I was excited for this chapter. I'm kind of sad we're not running it yet, but...
Which, saying that out loud gave me a different idea.
Yeah, boy.
Oh, I will say
hat on.
Say it again, CJ?
Oh, I will say, like, with Nightfang's character and everything and how I've got that, I've got a full fucking plan for the first chance that we get quote-unquote downtime. I've got an entire thing planned out for him that I can't wait to see what everybody's reactions are. That's going to be the fun part.
That's hilarious, because I also have a whole thing. And it sounds like Tom's got an idea what he wants to do, too.
Yeah, part 1 of the next story is going to be pretty easy.
Yeah, it's going to be
pretty easy.
It's going to be pretty easy on you, yeah.
Yeah.
You're just going to sit back and enjoy.
Really, yeah. Like...
Like the whole KT debate. We sit back and enjoy.
I've got a bullet point script for this chapter.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Where I've got some of my dialogue, obviously, but then like largely it's a bullet point script, which for those of you, out there is, I script a couple different ways, and the bullet point script is where it's just the bullet points of what's going to happen in the story. And then I'll just fill in the details ad lib as we go on the day. And so this looks like it.
So speaking on this though,
okay,
how are you managing us? Because we have, I know, well, we have frequently gone off north, south, up on you, like 2 or 3 times now. How are you handling this? Like, I know at the time it's not fun, but are you going to be able to lock us down at all? Or
and here's the thing: like, obviously, you don't want to, and you don't want to do this. Okay, you don't want to be that kind of storyteller where you go, no, you have to go this path. That's not what we're doing here. That's a bad storyteller. it's great to have your plan. It's great to have your script, but you have to be able to be malleable and be able to work with things when you guys screw with me.
Mm-hmm.
I have been fortunate for the majority of my storytelling career that my players largely just want to sit there, shut their mouths, and see where I'm going to take them with the story. Like, you're into the story, so you don't want to fuck with it. You want to be part of the ride.
Right.
And you guys did that for years.
I was going to say...
And then we put a microphone in front of you and you're fucking showing off. And you're like, hey, let's see what we can do.
Now there's a microphone that's complete opposite.
It's like goddamn Chuck E. Cheese all of a sudden.
But I mean, we're doing this behind the scenes. So chapter 6, we completely threw you off.
Yes.
Like chapter 6 was supposed to be, to behind the scenes for you guys, was supposed to be chapter 7.
Yeah. Chapter 6 was titled What Lisa Saw.
Yeah. So
and we had to cut it and change it to Breakdown as a title name because of what happened. Because none of the story got told.
Exactly, because this is how far off the rails we took you.
Yeah. And you know what kills me about that, though? It's one of those moments that, for me, like, that hurt to let go of is the crime scene. Because as intended, you were supposed to follow the goddamn cops. What's going on? Right? I was counting on curiosity getting the better of you.
But with the Whitney's explosion, we didn't.
But I was part of that, too, though.
Right.
The cops had... Like, it wasn't hard to figure out you were going to do that. Remember, the cops were coming, which led you to do that. They were already coming. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
They were going to the fucking trailer park.
Yeah, but if we weren't in the middle of arguing with each other...
And someone frenzying.
Either way, my point is, right, the intent was for curiosity, you to follow the fucking cop cars.
Mm-hmm.
So, where you guys showed up in chapter 7 the next day...
Yeah, that
where it was already
happened.
police taped up and it was going on. So you were going to get there in the rain with the cop cars on scene. So I described this whole thing, and there are all these onlookers, some out in the rain,
mm-hmm.
some looking through their windows. The choir was there still. And I'm describing, the cops going in and removing the bodies actively while you're on site, and how it's all illuminated by the blue and red lights of the fucking gumball, and how it's passing over the pastor, and it's making it look like everyone's blood soaked because of the reds. And I was really proud of the description.
That is cool as hell.
I'm a little sad that description didn't get.
I'm a lot sad that it didn't get to. Like, it was one of the ones that it killed me to have to let go of, because it doesn't work later.
Right.
The scene's over. The shit already happened.
That makes so much sense now, because you had talked about that before, where if we go a certain direction and it's okay, I'll just happen to have it go for next time. Well, there is no next time.
Right. If you're having it happen, it happened.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because the world keeps turning, and that's something we always stress about. Something's always happening.
Yep.
Jesus.
Porter had those cops going someplace for a reason, and just because we didn't follow them this time, it's not like, hey, yeah, no, they were just going to go stop a B&E.
Exactly.
Yeah, especially if they passed us. You have a description?
I might have thrown it away.
He was so angry he tossed it.
I might have thrown it out. Damn it. All right.
Despite how good of a scene that is sort of the scene we were talking about that led to the revelation with the KT scene at the end of chapter 7.
It's true. It absolutely led it there. But again, the rest of that story largely was the same.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously what you guys did
Mm-hmm.
messed with things a bit, but there was still going to be, the Scrags and the
Umbra.
Yeah, which, the bloated, which I thought was a nice touch, but I wrote it, so fuck am I to say so?
I thought it was cool as hell. The bloated Scrags.
I didn't expect to see a bloated Scrag, so having that vision, having that being iterated that way, I was impressed.
Somebody called me out on it. I don't remember who in the Discord. They brought it up. And it's like, well, like, they're murder spirits, and there was just like a mass murder in this place. Like, I like the idea that they were feeding off of that. Because of that, they got like these big distended, bloated fucking pot bellies or whatever, because like they're full.
Mm-hmm. And they were napping.
It just seemed like a cool visual. Like,
They had full belly, they were taking a nap, and then I decided to step on one.
Right?
Decided.
You threw up murdernosis. What the fuck does that even mean? It's like, oh, I'm too full of murder. What? Like, it can just be a cool visual and like a fucking... It's okay. I hope.
Yeah, I agree. It is a really cool visual. It was something I've never thought about as an ST to like show with the spirits.
It's the kind of thing that doesn't come up. Like, you're not going to find a book that says that, but you're not going to find a book that doesn't say that. Because, again, it's something that they didn't think of either, I would wager.
There's a lot for them to think about at the time when writing the book, so I'm sure that might have missed the cut.
Well, I think there's a lot of things in the books, which I guess is a different topic and a different show, that on the day nobody thought of, concepts that weren't visited because you can't think of everything, and so a lot of that you have to, make your own, and sometimes you just have to read between the lines about shit.
But that's also the fun of being an ST. It's your food to play with.
Yes.
So you're not running a straight carbon copy book game.
Boring.
I'd like to go back to KT for a second.
Okay.
Because she has quickly become a fan favorite, which is hilarious. She is not a main character of this game, and she is the main character of this game all of a sudden.
I mean, we're frequenting around her a lot, so she's getting that spotlight, so that makes sense.
So she is very important. She's a very important character in this game.
She's at the point of almost main character, so
that's why it's funny.
Yeah,
so
I think it's
a good
great.
character,
and it's great because Porter being ST, you don't get to play very often because you're always ST.
Well, I do play. I play every character you encounter all of the time. You play one character. I play like 15, dude.
I know. That's why he's saying.
Super playing.
But
I wear a cape and everything.
Trying to steal Night Fang's thing.
Gross.
I'm just saying, when you get to play as KT, though, and you get to focus on just her, it's like she's part of the pack.
Well, it's neat. I think that's cool that you feel that way, and thank you. She is a very important character in the grand scheme here, obviously.
Mm-hmm. If you haven't figured that out by now.
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing here, right? But the audience, and when I say that, I don't just mean the people listening, but you guys as the audience as well. It's so important that she makes an impact. Because if you don't like KT, the fucking jig is up. What can I do?
Yeah.
We would not have been doing nearly as much. Hell, we wouldn't have had our first frenzy if we didn't like KT.
That's a good point.
Right? You guys argued for like an hour and a half.
Longer than that.
Yeah, it was longer.
But there you go. Over the feelings of an imaginary person. I mean, I know it was in character, so you were playing an imaginary person also. But fuck, let's lay that down.
Would you put it that way? Oh man, right? I didn't even think about it that way until you just put it that way.
Which speaks. Thank you. That's a compliment because you didn't even think about it that way. But yeah.
But now I feel like an asshole. You made me think about it that way.
Because you feel like an asshole because you went the opposite direction?
No. I didn't okay, that's the thing that we could even hash out again right here, right now. I didn't fully go that other direction. I told my piece, and that was it. I don't agree with... No, it wasn't mainly me. And
I know. Bill's not here to defend herself, so we're not even throwing her in the mix.
I'm not throwing her under the bus, but I'm also saying I stated my opinion. I didn't like what you were doing, but I have to go with it, and that was it. I said my piece and walked the fuck off. You guys got mad about it.
Do we want to go for another hour on this?
Yeah, right. Yeah, we're not doing that.
We're gonna do that again.
No, sure. I'm just saying that's just the way that Dante felt that. Don't get me wrong. Me as a person, I'm totally with telling her. But the way in Dante's eyes, that was the way I wanted that played because he thinks she didn't need to know.
Well, and that's a fun thing is a callback to because that's not the first time that you and your character have been at odds.
Right.
I like to call back and it's not where Gaia takes us, but, with the previous games, and I think maybe starting with probably Into the Breach, if not the Guilty, Crimson Ghost hated Jude.
Yes.
But Tom does not feel that way.
Oh, I love Jude.
See?
Jude's an awesome character.
I love Jude. He's a great fucking character. I really do. I mean, I stare at his fucking picture all the time here. Like, he's a great character. He's well written, everything. Like, he is, in my eyes, next up for Margrave.
Sweet.
That's how good of a character Jude is to me. He should be stepping in Margrave's shoes. But Ghost could not stand him because of the manipulation.
Well, but again, Ed, I think that's it's interesting. This is your second character. You're 2 for 2 on playing a character whose views do not, necessarily drive with yours. I think that's great.
And I will say this as a ST as well as player, it's been really fun seeing you guys and even getting to participate in it. Having to put away that out of character knowledge and just make the dumb decision.
Oh yeah, I've done that a couple times already.
Sometimes we've made too dumb of a decision, though. That's the problem. So we have to find that line. And I think that's been the issue and why we're having such a hard time with the pack is we haven't found that line of what we know.
One thing it also doesn't help, and this is my fault, in terms of your environment. There couldn't have been a sept there on the island. There couldn't have been one nearby. I chose not to put a cairn on this land. I chose not to put a sept on this land. I chose not to put other guys. There's not even a single Garu. There's not even a onesie running around going, "Hey, I'm the sheriff of this island, bitch." Nobody.
Nope, it's Lama Nikvik, and it's the Dream Chasers.
And Falling Leaf at Twilight.
Because, he's technically not part of our pack.
Oh, he's nowhere near part of our pack. He's a part of another pack.
Yeah, he's a solo man right now.
He's a member of Travelers and Thieves.
I remembered it.
I remember the write-up.
Yeah.
None of us are locals here.
Not a one.
And that's the thing that I've speculated a while ago. I'm wondering if something happens after, all said and done, if a Garu presence becomes known at this island.
Well, I think a Garu presence is becoming known on this island.
As in a sept or a cairn gets made, is what I'm getting at.
No, I get you.
I think even if that were going to be the case, we're a long way off.
100%, but bringing in more Garu aside from who's here to establish, to fight back this worm infestation and wild infestation. I mean, that's just what I speculate now. I'm just speculating it as what I see it.
I get you. I absolutely get it.
I don't see why not. That's the thing, is this needs to be taken care of.
Well, and I think it's interesting because we are not, I want to say we're young in the story. We're not. We're seven fucking chapters in.
Mm-hmm.
So this is
19 actual play episodes.
Well, that's not.
It's 7 chapters, bud.
Yeah, it's 7 chapters. So the rest of that's not relevant. However, we break that down is irrelevant right now. We're 7 chapters in, and we're not as far along in the overall story as we normally go. You look at The Guilty, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we were ways in by 7 chapters.
Yeah, 7 chapters. You guys were about done.
Finished on 11, didn't it? It was supposed to be 13, but we finished on 11.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we were almost to the finale.
Yeah, chapter 8 was The Condemned, wasn't it?
Yep.
Or 9. 8 or 9? Either way.
8 was Lines in the Sand. 9 was Condemned.
So there you go. Oh, man. Anyway.
Yeah.
So we aren't moving. Again. Well, that's the thing, is that's where I go back with how many times we've gone east, west, up, and down. It's kind of waylaid the story a little bit.
It has a bit. Again, I don't know if we brought it up before, but you talking behind the scenes is, that first chapter, I had planned on one of 2 endings. Either you guys chasing the car or fighting the cedar.
Oh, happened.
Jesus.
You didn't do either one. Yeah, you half-assed both of them.
that was first chapter.
Yeah, I know it was. Because there was the part of me, and I wasn't sure which ending I wanted, right? Like, which one was going to work better, because, this was kind of a new form thing, is having all these different parts moving on this island. There's not one thing going on. Many things are connected, but there's not just one thing going on.
Well, there's several.
It's not like, here's where the Shredder lives, go kill the Shredder. Right? Isn't that simple? It's like, maybe it's like, hey, Batman, that's where the Joker is, but here's where the Penguin is, and here's Two-Face, and here's the Riddler, and here's Clayface, and figure this out. Fuck off.
In one night.
I didn't say one night, but fucking do it. Here's 8 things. Maybe some are related, who knows? Maybe Two-Face and Penguin are hanging out, maybe they're not. Deal with it. But I loved that idea, right? Because, for me, I love my character work. Character work is so important. I like a good mystery, sure. But I view things, like it's cinematic for me. Like I visualize it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, I'm going to make this, we're going to put this on TV, in my brain. And, I loved that idea of you guys chasing that car, right? Not a direct confrontation. We'll follow him back to where he goes. This is going to be a mess otherwise. We got this. And you break into his house or whatever, and you go in to fight him, and you kill him. Ha ha. And then you look in the mantle, and you see him with, like, the mayor in his sheriff's uniform. Roll credits.
See him with the mayor, and then next to it is like him and his wife and his daughter or something.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But, you know,
because you can roll the family aspect, too, if you just killed a man that had a family.
Yeah, well, that could be next. Fine. But no, the sheriff was the thing. The idea that, you just murdered the sheriff of this island. Good job. First day in, you killed the top cop.
Yep.
Well, it's a good thing we didn't go that route.
Right? Could you imagine how much fucking trouble you guys would have been in from Jump Street?
Ooh.
This would have been a bit of a different story if that happened.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, we fucked up your story that bad that soon.
I mean, that was
Reddit
one of the
chapter
options.
1,
Yeah. The other option, taking out the cedar. There's the what the fuck was that aspect of it all. But yeah, personally, I would have preferred you guys, killed the sheriff, because I think that would have been a great cliffhanger. Would have fucking hooked you guys, and it really would have put the oh shit meter up. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. It would have been right at freaking 100 right from Jump Street.
Exactly. Group of teenagers murders the sheriff. Fucking, there are 3 other cops in the whole fucking place. Congratulations on what you did.
That's a story seed we still have to follow.
Maybe.
Maybe not.
Essentially.
I mean, do we have to follow it? We don't have to do anything.
I mean, it's true. But then there's the question, too, is does that take care of itself over time?
Mm-hmm.
Is it just a dropped thread? Who knows? Do you revisit it? Maybe. I mean, it's
up to us.
It's up to us. Or it's up to you guys, and it's in the air.
Yeah. Do we find a new hook in the woods that's been freshly set up?
Oh, shit.
God damn it, why'd you bring that up?
Oh, like I haven't thought of it? Who
I know.
Who are you talking to?
The man plays Dead by Daylight. Come on. There's mini hooks.
Heyo. Well, while we're on it, if you do find another fresh hook in the woods somewhere, does it correspond to the sheriff still?
It's true. I mean, the cedar could be manipulating them to bring him food.
Well, remember what
Could
you've
be
learned
somebody
about.
else now.
Exactly. What you've learned about the cedar is they find a host. It doesn't mean it's the same guy.
No, but at the same time, he would be the first place we look.
If you knew where to find him.
Well, we have his address.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too hard. But
It's 1, 2, 3
And he's
Hill
the
Street.
sheriff.
right. 456, you're under arrest avenue.
Yes.
At the corner of Law and Order.
Oh! He did it. He did it.
Dun
Well
dun.
done.
Well, one of the things I did want to go back to Danny was, how are you doing now after you've struggled to keep in character? I know you had some bleed through.
Oh, yeah, that was a little rough, especially when I was editing. Because again,
You could hear yourself when you were editing, yeah.
So we were looking at Breakdown, which was completely unscripted.
Yeah.
Not even anything Porter wrote.
Just a 4-hour argument.
And I'm just curious if the bleed through is why your character's changing into a more aggressive
I
character.
think so.
Okay.
See, I'm glad to see that, though, because he is playing an Aharon.
Right. Which I like the way the character's going.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering if the bleed through is what helped push you in that direction.
At the same time, I'm a little embarrassed about the bleed through.
No, I get it. It happens.
It sucks, especially when I'm listening to it, and I'm listening to it 3-4 times, and I got to do the edit, and I'm thinking to myself, like, why did I do this? Why am I being mean to my friends?
And it's in character.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, there's some bleed, but, like, it's not...
I felt bad. I felt bad, and I felt a little embarrassed about it.
It's one of those things of, like, maybe the source / where it came from wasn't ideal, but even from another player looking in, it's a really cool way to take the character, and it's really fitting with the auspice.
Yeah. And yes. So in that aspect, I think you're absolutely right, Tom. I think it helped being able to push it where he evolved that quickly.
And I think that was the case on when I brought mine softer.
Really?
We didn't need 2 hotheads is what went through my head. And that's why I'm starting to play Dante softer. Because 2 hotheads, and I'm just seeing it as a pack mentality with what the fuck's going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to get us anywhere. We're going to keep making those up and down moves.
Well, I think it's something here, and you bring it up, Danny, is it is a little embarrassing. Because we obviously...
We're human.
Yes. Thank you.
We're human. It's going to happen.
But like most of us don't, and I don't mean like us specifically, but everyone out there, people who play these most of us don't record ourselves and have to listen back.
7 or 8 times.
Right. And like play it for hundreds of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of rough.
So we're in like kind of not a wholly unique dispute, but we're in a bit. Yeah. There's a smaller group of us folks who do this and who put it back on air. And, we fuck around, but we don't fuck around. We commit to the game.
Yes.
We take the game. We have fun, of course.
No, but we
take it seriously. This is,
That's the fun for me, though, is taking it seriously. That's
right.
It's my relief from real life.
Yeah. And so, there were chapters or chunks of chapters or what have you where I had trouble listening back to.
Oh, yeah.
There were a couple where I can't listen to this shit again. I remember there was a section, and I don't remember which part, I don't remember, listening back, and it felt like you guys were just intentionally fucking with me. And I know that didn't happen. You know what I mean? Like, intellectually, you think about it, like, no one was intentionally screwing with me, but it really felt like fucking people were here to kibosh this game for fun.
Not at all.
No,
I know exactly what you're
I know.
about.
And we talked about this.
Yeah. I know. Well, and that's why, because that's something too, is, we're pretty open about this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like I tell these,
have to be.
Yeah. So it was hard to re-listen to. And again, it's like intellectual, and like I'm hearing me get frustrated, and it's like I'm reliving that shit at the time, and then I'm hearing it again with like a different perspective, and I'm like, ooh. But, and this is the thing, and maybe the worthier part is you talk about you're making these changes. There's sometimes there's bleed, and sometimes it's a little embarrassing, but we're all human, we make mistakes. But what are we doing with them is the thing.
Yeah, how do you fix that? How do you move forward from it?
Well, and also maybe this is time to be a lesson for other people out there. I feel like we live in a world more and more where we, despite how people pretend, we tolerate difference less and less. That if you think or feel differently, you're suddenly the enemy and that makes you evil. Not that we don't disagree, we don't agree on a thing. Or there's a minor conflict. And it can just be a minor conflict and we can get over that. But I think largely these days, that's not what happens.
Mm-hmm.
No.
We've seen people in Discord leave over really minor shit.
It's true.
Sorry, it's kind of funny because it's like, wait, that's why he left? All right.
Yeah.
What?
I think this totem's the best and you don't, and I'm leaving because I'm mad about it. What?
Yeah.
That was a real one.
I know.
What?
No, that's why I laughed. That was the one I was laughing at.
This is totem prep. Like, why can't you? What?
Yeah.
But that's the thing is, so like we take these things, and if there's a problem, there hasn't been a problem so large that we have had to fucking
we're not
do a thing about it.
Yeah.
But to take those differences or to take some of that, it's a healthy way, is my point, to deal with it. It's like, we don't disagree, or there's a little disagreement. Fine. Was it the end of the world? No. Were you mad? Yes. Will you get over it? Well, of course you will, because we're not 4 years old and everything's fine later.
No, we're 14 and a half.
That's right.
Right.
Like, we could have that hour and a half long argument in character. Things get a little heated, but the next day, even the next hour after that, we're still friends here.
Oh, we're still laughing. We're still joking.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's something as a storyteller that I have done as well. I haven't heard any pushback on it, but I listen back to the show. So there are times, when I will be less serious, I'll throw those jokes in and stuff, and it's me managing the mood of you, like for you guys.
The guac scene.
Well, no, that was a different thing.
I know, but that's still such a good scene.
Thank you. I am super proud of that.
I love that.
It's one of those scenes that I'm super proud of because it was writing that joke in a way that doesn't disrupt the game, that informs the characters, and it's actually funny.
Yeah, and it keeps it lighthearted, which is what was great because you're going and you're super serious. You're going to get your totem, like it's serious. Here's some guac.
Yep.
It was a good way to break up the monotony of the seriousness of, super laser focused. You need to do this right now.
Sure. And I mean, that was a scripted decision, but I'm talking about stuff where I, as a storyteller, not in character, but as a storyteller, am making a few jokes every now and then, those little asides.
Sure.
Oh, KT's made a few, yeah.
No, Porter, not KT, not Falling Leaf, me.
Oh, is yours? Okay.
Yeah.
Out of character. Okay.
And it's like, wow, this really breaks. But I do that because sometimes I want to make sure I'm managing you guys.
No, I get it.
Things are a little tense. So I'm going to, I'm sensing maybe some bleed happening or someone getting a little salty. So I'm going to throw in like a dick joke here and there to get everyone else to laugh. So, hey, we're okay. No one's getting too upset. All right. And managing that is important.
Yes. And I think you've done quite well because if it wasn't for that, we might still be having this KT argument. Right now.
Quite possibly. That people had feelings.
Which I like, because that means that's good radio.
Mm-hmm. And it's one of those things that I've seen a few actual plays from different games where there have been those little conflicts in the party or the packs. And they're just little minor things like, okay, they might argue for like 2-3 minutes, but ultimately they make the decision and just go for it, where we were willing to go for the full argument. Mm-hmm. Yes, we're going to do some stuff for the sake of the story, like, working with Le Magnifique after the whole making enemies with them day one.
Oh my God, you guys.
Where, and like us like fully planning and like coming up with backups just in case we ever have to bolt because they try something. But now we're working together and having a good time. It's one of those like, that partly for the story, partly because it makes sense. But then again, like, we could have this, 2-minute discussion out of character and make the decision, or we could go for the full hour and a half in character and potentially go nowhere with an argument, but lead to some drama. And I think works for the story as well.
Yes, and it's great character development. And to me, it's a compliment that you guys are that invested.
My big struggle was trying to argue as a 15-year-old. Because I could have definitely thrown more out there, but I was trying to keep it at like a 15-year-old's knowledge of arguing. So it was kind of rough. That's why I was like, I'm just done. Like I'm gonna have a 15-year-old tantrum. I'm done. I'm walking away.
Mm-hmm.
That was my mentality, because I could have sat there and argued, and I could have been more calm about it, and actually threw more shit out there. But
which was kind of the argument that I had.
I know, but there was some bleed through for me at that point because you kept stating something. I can't remember what it was, but you kept saying the same thing over and over and over, and I was like, why is this so important to you? Like, this is all you keep
getting
saying.
Her to trust us?
Trust, that's what it was. It was trust. You said trust like 9 fucking times.
And then you had Night Thing pulling the adults in as soon as he had the opportunity.
Mm-hmm. It was good. I mean, that was good radio. I really enjoyed that.
I enjoyed it until the part where I heard myself and I heard the bleed through.
And again, you move on, and again, everyone's we're all friends, and that's the thing is, it certainly wasn't worth ending a friendship, and it didn't even get close.
No, it didn't.
Let's be clear on that, because we're talking about it a lot.
It was probably the most of what's happened so far. Like, it's the most dramatic we've had.
But on a 10 scale the 10 scale friendship ender, it probably hit a 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe a 3.
We got closer on game nights.
Yes, we have been closer on game nights.
I'm sad I've been missing those.
Yes, you have.
I need to get a new computer.
Oh. That's true.
Yes.
There is some very real salt on game nights.
But that's like, once again, we were getting passionate. We were having that bleed come through in some angles. But it's no worse than anything that we've ever dealt with on game night. We're still fully friends with this.
Competitiveness gets the best of people.
Right. And again, let that be a lesson to folk. Yes, I'm the first one to tell you, hey, I will get fucking salty. You will know it. You will hear it.
Yes.
I do not hide it well, and I'm not trying to, frankly. I can, if I need to, express my displeasure with a thing in a way that makes it want to take its own life. I don't know what the thing is, but fucking look out for me. Here's the thing. In like an hour or two,
You're done.
It's
You're over
fine.
it.
Yeah, you're fine. You forgot about it already.
You know, you vent that off, so it's not a real problem later. That's why I get salty.
You tunneling
So
bastard.
so I'm not sitting here with a fucking blood feud thinking about how to destroy somebody. You mad? You fucking vent it off and you're done.
Danny,
Which
I've
is
tunneled
hilarious.
you every time I was killer.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said you tunneling bastard. I tried not to say it during Porter's thing, but yeah, I was looking right at you when I said it.
Good. Just making sure you know I meant to
But
do
that's
it every
the
time.
And I'm jealous of you for being able to do that, Porter, because I can't just vent it off. I can vent it. I can't just vent it off where it's gone. I hold fucking grudges.
Oh, see, that's why I vent, because I will otherwise. And I don't.
And it bothers me sometimes that I have a friend, or I used to have a friend a long fucking time ago. Like, we stayed friends throughout high school and even after high school. And after a couple years after high school, he did something to me is so unimaginable that a friend would do that I refuse to even talk to him ever again. I hold that grudge.
Well, look, this isn't even a different show. This is a conversation. But so let's not fucking dwell on it too long.
No.
But no, some things deserve to be forgiven or forgotten.
That's kind of the point there.
But that's a different. But that's not what we're talking about here.
No.
We're talking about a fucking tabletop game
Right.
and then a video game,
Yes.
Like,
but
so-
at the same time, if I go back
Not,
to
not
Ricochet,
real life stuff.
right?
but if I go back to Ricochet,
Yeah.
he has to let go of those grudges.
Kind of like just for the sake of getting along at the game. This is a nice turnaround. Good job.
He hasn't yet with me, with Dante.
It'll get there though.
I know it'll
Or
get,
it
or it
won't.
won't, yes. But I mean, he's
No, it's
always
getting there.
throwing shade at me every freaking
It's
time.
there. I think you're looking for me to do it to you.
No.
Well, here's a question for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Which one of you is the worst? I'm kidding. I wanted to stir the pot.
It's definitely not CJ. It's going to be between me and Ricochet,
Yeah.
100%.
I just thought it would be fun.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
I'll run down this thread if you want.
No,
I'm
no,
fine
no,
with
no.
it.
I'm
We'll
just
be here
fucking
forever.
I just wanted to fucking stir the pot and pit you three against each other for a second. See
Well,
what
CJ's
happens.
already out. I mean, he's the mediator. He's fine.
Yeah.
He's been trying to keep us together
Yeah, he's-
the whole time.
He's still doing it, yeah. Oh my god.
And that's the fun part for me, especially, is like doing whatever I can to try keeping this pack together and on the same course, leading to some even more drama and flare-ups between us and like those arguments. I still love the fact that Knifeig was able to get away with pushing Dante in the lake.
Oh, that was a really good moment. I really like that.
Because Dante has no grudge against him at the moment. That's why he's like, I deserve that.
I don't even want to call Nightfang the glue. You're more like the bubble gum that's holding us
weird.
all together.
That's weird.
The funnier part is he's the youngest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's the one acting the most adultish.
He's just trying to keep his new friends together.
That's a good way of putting it.
No, that's fair. No, there are a couple things I would like to talk about. And I feel like I can't talk about them.
Okay, so you're going to ask us to talk about them?
So
Yes.
lead us in the direction.
Exactly. But
ST us in that right
look, I'm
direction.
just being fucking, I'm being honest. I'm being open about it, right?
It works on game days.
Sometimes.
Depends what hour it is.
Yeah, you guys suck. I mean, now we're you've waylaid it. Cause good job.
Score.
Because it suddenly brought me back to that first encounter with Farfor. Where you guys just went out of your way to ruin the moment.
Yep.
You're like, wow, that was really tense. I'm going to call this man a butthole. I'm going to call him poopy. I'm going to question his kindness and throw it back in his face. All right, cool. Thanks.
You're lucky you didn't get murdered, Ricochet.
Me?
No, it was more than just, it was fucking all of you.
It was.
all
but
of
How
us.
far's the cabin? None of you fucking gives a shit. He invited you there. Just say thank you.
It was all of us.
It was all of us, and
I
I
know.
was the only one who brought it back.
Right? Yeah, you tried. You're like, oh no, we fucked this up. Like I can hear Danny think that even now. Like,
Oh, yeah.
shit, we fucked up.
Oh, yeah. I absolutely knew it, too.
I'm gonna call him poopy. Not sure which one of you that was, but it's what in my heart that was in your heart. Anyway.
But yes, please ask your question.
Well, no, and that was the thing is, if you've been, everyone who's been with the show for a while has heard, about like the Silent Howl and they've heard about the Rabies and Chains. You know, we talk about those NPCs, but La Magnifique is a new pack.
Oh, brand new.
Yeah, they were created specifically for this chronicle. And I would, you know.
How do we feel about them?
I know
Yeah.
why you're asking this, because you miss your old NPCs.
Is it? I mean, I do miss them.
I
but
know.
that's
I just
not-
remember you stating that you miss your NPCs.
I miss them a bit. I miss playing those characters. I miss being able to bust into Whiplash and
You miss Shadowboxer. It was after he
Yeah.
putting a preposition there. Makes him seem mighty.
as if dropping a preposition makes them mighty.
I love that line.
Me too.
It's the best Shadowboxer line.
But you know what? Those characters, yeah, those are like like your favorite shirt.
Okay.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
You know, like that's what those
they're
are.
comfortable.
Yeah, they're comfortable and they're safe and they're family. You know, like they've been around for so long and they're so fleshed out. And this is my point: is these are new characters, and you know they weren't ready when I unveiled them.
Oh no! Oh, they weren't ready.
No,
You
they're
only had
still
like 3 of them.
they're
Maybe kind of ready.
Well, that's the thing is I was showing them a little bit at a time because they weren't all ready yet. You know, the game, there's a ticking clock here. We have a schedule to keep for the show. We have a show now.
Mm-hmm.
I can't just hold off until I'm ready. We have to go. So they had to be
What you had has to come out.
right. And I'm still working on that. And you're fine. And like, I'm still working on that, you know, and I have to find these characters 100% and keep building them before I make a mistake, fuck up and say something on air that traps me.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying, because there are a couple of them. What was it? We got 3 so far that are the NPC of the
yeah,
month.
That's exactly where I was going to go. Like, it's how much should I know, because we've been getting these as NPCs of the month.
Sure.
So it's what's been unveiled game-wise compared to what I know reading these NPCs of the month. Game-wise, I think we can definitely see a lot more from them.
Oh, and you will.
Yes.
And that's by
there's
design.
there's a lot more to them. But from what I know on the 3 that have been released, this pack is great. So far, from what I know, their backstories are awesome. I love the way they're being presented in the game.
Yeah, well, that's the worthier part.
Yeah,
because, you know, everyone doesn't know the write-ups. You got to leave the write-ups.
Yeah, I'm trying to do this without knowing those write-ups.
That's fair.
The way they're being presented in the game is, I think there could be more. They're not giving out enough to really flesh them enough, in my opinion. There definitely needs to be more interaction.
I will defend on this one.
Well, I also walked out of the place and didn't, bullshit with you guys because I had that tantrum when it was Bodhi and Mia.
But that aside, the game's not about them. They're in the game, but the game's about us. So the more we interact with them, the more we will learn.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
So if we're doing our thing and they're not part of it, what's the purpose of releasing that information about them?
There's also the fact that, like Porter said, not all of them are ready 100%. So
That too.
Well, and I'll respond to a little bit. And awesome. Cool. This is stuff I can see now. I can talk about it too without being like, hey, look at the stuff that I did. It's not what I'm trying to do here. Well, I mean, it's not. You know,
I know
I'm
what you
not.
mean.
Yeah. You know, it's that for starters, with them not being done, to touch on what CJ was saying, that's a lot of NPC management. I mean,
Oh yeah.
you know, if a character is not ready, or I'm not comfortable, they're not in the scene, or I'm getting them out of the scene. Here's a great example. Dodger.
Oh, yeah. Because he's the most recent NPC of the month.
Well, sure, but again, not relevant to this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It was chapter 4, 5 before he became relevant at all.
Oh,
Before he was
okay.
actually
Yeah.
seen in the scene. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
he
we
was
knew
in
about
scenes
him.
When,
But
like
yeah.
he was there when you first met Mia with the first night with KT with Lucinda. He was there,
Mm-hmm.
and he was sent away immediately.
Go deal with that.
And he went through 3 fucking name changes before he was revealed to you guys as McKiefer Bullet Dodger. What the fuck kind of name is McKiefer? You 3 of you know the answer to that.
Yeah,
but
now.
that's because, you know, that's just different. But, you know, in game, obviously. But yeah, there was several different names before I got around to the one that was right. So what did I do is I kept him away from things.
Makes sense.
You know, hey, what about the camera? Well, no, Dodger's on it. So
all you
he's
need to
not
know.
in the scene because he's taking care of it. Also, hey, he's the Thurge. Guess what? It was taken care of. I could tell you how, too, but you'll find that out in game if you ask.
Yeah, I was going to say, if we
You
interact
have to
enough.
ask, yeah.
But it's hard to ask when he hasn't been around.
Well, but that
Now
has
he's
changed
around.
since then.
Yes, now he's around.
Yeah, since, I guess, Chapter 4, your Totem Quest, is when he started.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, but then again, that was 4 chapters where he was fucking just an extra.
And I don't want to say unnecessary, but wasn't part of the story.
Well, and here's the rub, too, and it shouldn't escape anyone's notice. It's not subtle. You have a representative of each of your auspices and tribes through La Magnifique. That's important because you don't have a sept. So you need someone you can talk to as a touchstone from a tribal or auspice level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, but, you know, so you make a point to not make it be samesies.
Yeah.
You know, oh, hey, look, we're both Silent Strider Thurges. That's crazy. What a coincidence.
You're the only one I'm going to latch on to.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you and you find some interesting combinations that way.
I love the different combinations.
You know, I like the idea of you're going to put Carter and Cassie in a room together and they're going to bond over an auspice roll.
Mm-hmm.
Right? See, like, Jesus.
Yeah. They have. She's bonded with Carter.
I mean, I think that process is beginning. But, you know, that's the thing is this was a brand new pack and finding them on the fly and I'm kind of happy with them.
Oh, I think it's an awesome pack. I enjoy the fact that they are slowly getting fleshed out because we are learning them as we go.
Right.
So not only we learning it, but everyone in the audience and everyone listening is hearing it too.
Well, and it's also important because, and I don't want to give anything because some of this stuff is going to be relevant or will come up eventually as things do, as you get to know someone.
Right.
Right.
Also, circling back to why we didn't just start from the beginning and explain everything and what an auspice is and why I am part of this tribe and all that. You just jump right into it. Circling back to what we said in the beginning.
Well, yeah, you will learn, but yes, you will learn by being there, by being, you know, into the story. And that's the thing, because you're not going to look, Far 4 isn't going to walk up and go, how you say, it my twin in utero? And then I was married twice, and there was some infidelity, and then I got hepatitis, and then the erectile dysfunction came along, and then I had my first change.
Wow!
None of that is, by the way.
Sponsor would have been your eunuch. Nice.
Yeah, I just wanted to do like a whole bunch of deeply personal character defining shit. They're not just going to walk up and tell you that.
No. That's got to come up.
That's like a 10th
naturally
date kind of thing.
I think one of those might be.
Like, even looking at Dodger now, who has come out as an NPC of the month, we don't even know his actual name. Still just know him as Dodger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had one little stint with him, and that was it so far.
Well, I believe you guys know his full name. And if not, you absolutely learned it off camera.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a really basic thing.
Yeah, it would have like come up in a normal conversation. It's not like he's coming up and just saying, "Hey, yeah, no, I am the Kiefer Dodger, Bullet Dodger," and going through his life story. No, it's like we know him as Dodger. If we wanted to know his full name, we could ask and probably have at some point.
And that's a thing that you could just, I could assume you know that. You're in close quarters with these guys. It's been a bit. Yeah, you learn that behind the scenes. That's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I definitely want to fix for me, though, I mean, obviously we're still in the NPCs, but stop calling me Dante. It's my human name. So I'm wanting to try to maybe work something out with Anubis, like call me Anu or something. Just because calling me Walks is kind of silly.
No,
I was going to say, but Walks is kind of ridiculous.
Right. But I'm also, because everything is like, and that's my human name, but I want my actual title out there. Something of it.
That's fair. And that's, I mean, a lot of that maybe is on me because I have been referring to all of you as your human name, as your character's human names, which is not something I normally sign off on.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's just easier than going Walks with Anubis.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You know, so that's on me, and we can work on that too.
Which is hilarious because Nightfang, we say.
Right.
And because your human name, it's Edgar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I remembered.
I don't even remember his human name, so
I did. And then Ricochet. And honestly, I don't even remember what my human name was. What did I say, Jimmy?
Who cares? Because
No, it's
Rico.
Kenny.
Rico's great.
Yeah.
And yes, I hated
Rick.
Rico.
I don't know why you hate
Either
Rico.
way.
I hated Rico because of my cat, and my cat's a little bitch.
But don't associate it with your cat.
Yeah, that's on you
It's
because
grown
no
on
one,
me. It's fine now.
You know what?
Rico's fine.
nobody
Take the
knew what
name
the
Rico
fuck
back.
your cat's name
I
was.
know. I
Yeah,
know.
so that's all on you.
I get it, but at the same time, Rico has grown on me, so it's fine now.
But I mean, I know we make the mistake of saying Mel sometimes.
Yeah, well-
because Hippolyta Shadow.
And again, we can't call her Hippolyta either.
Right. Call her Shadow.
That's I was kind of starting to think that way.
Well, and here's the thing. I'd go with Lottie.
Ooh, that's not bad.
Well, because Shadow's a stupid thing to say a whole lot, too.
Yeah.
Hey, Shadow, what up, Shadow? Look out, Shadow.
I mean, I think
Look
it's
how
kinda
ridiculous I
cool.
sound, Shadow. Do you want $1, Shadow? Can I keep saying, can I make this word meaningless?
I don't know. I kind of like Shadow, but
We do use
I mean, how
Cassie,
long
we've used
till you-
Mel, so yeah.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
I mean, if we're saying our real names, it's different. But
Well, there's also a level of in the field
Yes.
versus, right? And to spin that on its head a bit, that's something that pisses me off about, pissed me off, I guess. I don't know if it's, I don't know. Well, present or past, it's crazy. The tense, it's all tense, it's crazy. But like you watch those of the Avengers movies, and they're out in the field and they're fighting people and they're like screaming in the middle of the street, Steve, look out! You didn't call him Steve, you idiot!
They call him Cap.
No, they call him Steve in the fucking movies.
Do they really?
They don't use their fucking code names.
supposed to be Cap.
I know. There's a reason you have the code name, you idiot.
Wow. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah. Nat, he's coming in. Nat, fucking Black Widow. She's called Black Widow. When you're at the Avengers Mansion, call her Nat. When you're having lunch, call her Nat. When fucking people are shooting missiles at you, don't go Steve Rogers. Fucking address 1864 Help Street. Fucking... That's you, right, buddy? Look out. The supervillain's in earshot.
that's a one-way trip, Tony.
Tony Stark.
I guess
not Iron Man.
Tony's a bad one because everyone knew. But besides the point, yes.
Yeah, you know. Like, well, there's lots of people named Wanda. Okay, but there's no one named Scarlet Witch, and maybe you should call her that instead. So, like, when you're in the middle of a thing and you're walking down the street, right? This is the reverse of it. You know, you shouldn't go, hey, Hippolyta Shadow.
Right.
We're in front of the barber shop or we're in the middle of the fucking Hops Diner. Let's call you by your fucking deed name. You need something shorthand, absolutely.
Or
But-
whenever you're meeting somebody for the first time who may or may not be a potential veil breach and calling one of your pack Night Thing in front of them.
And really, that's a great example. Is, I mean, you got to think of those human names as the code name for when you're out in public, where in private, your Garu name is your real name, dude.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's a two-way street. I've also introduced myself as Dante many times. So
But
it's a two-way
if
street.
you're not dealing with
I
Garu,
mean,
you should be introducing yourself
Right.
as Dante.
no.
Yeah, you've
I know,
also
I get
said, I'm Walks with Anubis, but you can call me Dante. You've said that a couple times.
I don't know. Maybe it's just personal. I'm getting irritated with Dante now.
I
I like the
mean,
name. Of course, I love Clerks, so.
I mean, and it can be something in character. Like, yeah, no, your character knows their Garu name is Walks with Anubis, and everybody keeps calling him Dante. Maybe it's time for a little change.
Yeah, I might do that in character.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, that's definitely the way to do that.
oh, I've been thinking of different ideas, and I didn't want to say them out loud without bringing them up to you first, but I mean, it's your character. It's kind of your decision. If you don't want it, then I won't say it. But I just started started workshopping some stuff.
You started photoshopping some stuff?
Hey,
Uh-oh.
wow.
Oh, boy.
That's putting him on the list.
Man, I can't take that out now. God damn it.
We put a hat on it. Nice.
Oh, okay, let's hope so. Nobody want to see it.
That's what he's photoshopping in.
That's what I'm saying.
Little chin strap.
Oh, Jesus. You're making that even worse.
Yeah, well, at this point, just embrace it.
Okay, then.
Hey, everybody.
This is your first time listening.
Oh, what the hell are you doing here?
Oh, stay.
Yes.
Fucking
Yes.
Yeah.
Just
go join up go sign up to the Ko-Fi.
yeah. If you're exactly.
Join us on the Discord. It's always a good time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been workshopping some names for that, and I started doing it with Cassie as well, because again, we're doing the same thing with Cassie. We say Cassie a lot. We never say Hippolyta Shadow, come here.
Well, and this is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even consider this a spoiler, and I've been really busy. I mean,
Yes.
you guys know there's
Yes.
been a lot of moving parts in my fucking life the last few months.
All of us are. I mean,
But
I know.
But
You're really
Porter
busy
being-
more than usual.
thank
yes.
you.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
No, I know. More
being
than
the
usual.
ST and having this and the podcast and the game and writing plus his normal busy life.
And
yeah.
some other new stuff that has come up lately
Right.
that we're not going to be discussing on the podcast. That's some personal shit, but there's extra shit.
There's
There's
a lot of
it.
shit going on.
But so I haven't had I want to say I haven't had the time,
Mm-hmm.
which is a little bit bullshit, no matter who's saying it. But you guys know, everyone knows how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what are you doing with the time you have? So
All the more reason for us to be able to workshop a new name for her.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
stop just calling her Cassie.
But that's,
Mm-hmm.
No, it's a deed name. You earn them too, so it can be changed.
Do I think he'll be called Ricochet forever? No. But at the same time, it is pretty easy, so it might not need to change.
I think he's open for Smash Mouth.
Kool-Aid Man.
That's no.
I know that's a no, but still.
Put the kibosh right on there, right away. So we're learning all these things about the NPCs, and essentially we're learning about ourselves as well.
Mhm.
But, like, we look to the top of that pack. Look at Far 4. We know so very little about him.
I was going to say, what about Far 4?
Out of the whole pack, we know the least about him.
Is that true?
We don't know much about Carter, I'll say, but yeah, we know Far 4 will smack you if you act up too much.
I think Carter's the one that's least. We've had more interactions with Far 4, Bodhi, and Mia for sure.
We've had interactions with Far 4, but what we know about him in-game. Let's make that clear. In-game, not what we know because of...
Well, I've been sitting on Far 4. I haven't been sitting.
I know you
It's
have.
not complete. But
That's kind of my point here.
I'm saving that one.
That's my point. Is I know that's happening. You're only letting so much go at a time because you want the rest of this pack to be kind of like our gateway. Again, we have Carter, who is Bonar, who I can latch onto for that, but he's also Ragabash, so Mel can latch onto him for that. Then you have Mia Jawbreaker, who is around, so I can latch onto her, but she's also a Black Fury, so Mel can latch onto her again.
Yep.
And then you look at Dodger, who's a Thurge and a Stargazer, so you have both Tom and CJ they can latch onto for the different aspects. And obviously, we just said it a couple minutes ago that everyone in that pack has that.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't Bodhi the Philodox as well?
Yes, he is.
Yes.
Strider.
Because I just noticed, like,
Well, that's
you
kind of...
basically
yeah.
paired off
Yeah,
with
just look at
NPCs.
that.
Yeah, I kind of paired you guys off.
Yeah.
I didn't do it intentionally. It's just how it happened.
It's it.
That's kind of cool. I didn't even realize that
Yeah.
until he just named it all off. I'm like, oh yeah, look at that. We're kind of paired off here.
Right. But again, the fifth member and the alpha of that pack is who?
Well, don't forget Cheddar.
Yeah.
See, you don't even remember Cheesy Dave.
That's the one we don't know the most about.
See, I would disagree, which is weird. Like I'm kind of pointing that going, that's your fault. Maybe. Because maybe I did a bad job.
Well, I don't know if you did a bad job. It's more of we haven't interacted with.
Well, what I'm saying is,
Mhm.
okay, you look at Carter, right?
Sure.
And you're right. You know practically nothing about Carter. You know, I keep giving him the wrong voice because I like the voice more than I like the character.
Yeah, you've had a couple
He's
changes
had
on
some
that
voice
one.
changes.
Yeah. And I mean,
you
some of
haven't
that,
nailed him down yet. That's
yeah, some
why.
of that happens too. Well, like I know I want Carter to be like this. Carter, this is a little too meat rod right now. This was too much. This became, oops. but you know, I want to, what is this motherfucker? I wanted to kind of be like this, but it's too. I think that's too good of a voice for the character, and it doesn't fit the character.
Yeah.
But I keep wanting to,
So
Yeah.
you kind of blend those two together.
right, and it's more, yeah. I want that tone, but I want it, not the pitch though. He's got to be kind of whinier and more nasally.
Just make him full on Meatwad.
But see, that'll just pull people.
I know it will.
So like I'm working on the voice. I mean, and those things kind of happen to land a voice, and there's some fluctuations. We're finding shit. That's fine. But
again, brand new fucking characters. So
right. But what I'm saying is, you don't really know much about Carter, but there was that scene with Dave. And again, it was one of those moments that I wrote that was important to me.
Mm-hmm.
You remember when he came out in the suit?
Oh,
remember? And he insulted Farforce.
This is what a glasswalker should look like.
Right. See, this is an adult. See, you're a glasswalker. This whole your whole wife beater, hairy shoulders thing that went out of style in like the 40s in Jersey. I, however, am looking like an adult, and I'm going to go out. Being less homeless and all.
And do my guy a given duty.
Right, yeah. I'm gonna drink the town under on other people's tabs. I'm gonna bang every cocktail waitress I can get. By the way, while I'm doing that, I'm getting intel. I'm making us normal around town, and maybe I'm knocking some people up and making more Gara. You're welcome, planet Earth.
That's such a good line.
Right, like that whole speech, it was character establishing, because what you just learned a whole bunch of things about that character in fucking 3 or 4 sentences was the idea. So either like I did it poorly, or you weren't paying attention if you don't know anything about Dave at this point.
No.
And not you, just the general you.
I
just think he hasn't been around enough.
Well, that's true.
That's why it didn't land as hard as it should.
But I mean, that's why that was why I crafted. And this is, this is almost like instructive at that point, because you're giving things, I'm showing you things. I'm not telling you them.
And I think the problem is because he's not around as much, I didn't read into it enough for it to really be there.
And that's fair. And like I said, it's like maybe it's a combination of I can't.
It's a good establishing shot. Now we just need to build up on it.
Yes,
exactly.
And that's the thing, is he needs to be a little bit more around more, so
and certainly
he really will establish in my brain.
But that's
the thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's where it started. That is, again, it established what he's kind of stylish. He's arrogant.
Oh, very arrogant.
Well, I love it, though.
Right? He's at least very sure of himself.
I'm not conceited.
It's what made me fall in love with Bangarang, because he was like the same kind of way. And that's what made me fall in love with Bangarang.
I'm not conceited. I'm convinced.
Nice. I might steal that. But again, that was one of those moments. And moments like that I think are very important, because again, you are informing, you're saying things about characters, about setting, without, it's show, don't tell.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're kind of telling a little bit. Like, this is, if you're paying attention, you learn he's arrogant. You learn he's stylish. You learn he's, maybe a little thirsty. You learn that maybe
he's got a chip on his shoulder.
He does. He likes to party.
Yeah.
He's their Galliard, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
He needs a few drinks just to be able to tell his tales.
But it doesn't need them. It might help. But then I go back to Far 4.
Mm-hmm.
What do we know? We've had a lot of interactions with him, so we do know some things, but...
We know that Twilight's a better fighter than him.
I mean, Far 4 did lose that fight.
Yes, he did.
That's true.
I'm not...
But I think
I'm not going there.
But I think it also says something, the fact that Far 4 and Falling Leaf had clearly bonded and become friends.
Mm-hmm.
So that tells you something, too.
Yeah, my whole point is that we know a lot about Far 4.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't know enough about Far 4 to be able to...
Oh, you don't have his number in the slightest.
Yeah, okay, there we go. We don't have his number.
To do your thing, like to explain the person without telling about their clothes and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that little thing you try to have.
The character game.
The character, yeah.
I don't know what the fuck to call it.
It doesn't matter.
But it's like explain Obi-Wan Kenobi thing.
The gift of red letter media. I don't know.
We'll call it that. That's fine. But we know a lot about Far 4. We can't play that game with Far 4. Everybody else, we probably could. We know a lot about Far 4, but not enough to be able to build that relationship with. I think there's still a lot for us to figure out first. I love the mysteriousness about Far 4. It's so fucking cool.
It's the thing is, I am keeping him...
And I know, that's kind of my point of bringing that up is I know you're holding on to it. You might not have everything. But I'm willing to bet you got like 99% of it. You just haven't released it yet.
One thing on that same token, a Fire 4 will reveal what he wants to reveal when it's time for him to,
Mm-hmm.
I ain't worried about Fire 4. I fucking love that character, but I ain't worried about Fire 4. Who I'm interested in is Falling Leaf. Falling Leaf at Twilight is one of those characters that I am excited for you to see more sides of.
That man has disappeared for a while, and I can't wait to find out what the fuck happened.
That one's difficult for me, though. Because right when we started this game and you made him an NPC of the month, and I know those different angles,
Yeah.
and I have to keep that separate from Ricochet's head.
No, I get it. It's one of the pangs of being fucking part of this.
Yeah.
You know?
And to know that for so long now, and since the beginning of the game until now, again, from what we're doing here.
Soon.
Yeah.
Stop dating things.
Yeah.
I get it. but-
Chapter 8 is the next chapter.
Yes.
Yeah.
So to know that for so long, but to still try and figure out
Cut
what
it out of
we
your
need.
head.
I'm trying. It's not
How many
easy to
times
do.
did you read it?
Yeah, there's a motherfucker. Like, 5 months ago, he reads the write-up on Falling Leaf at Twilight, and
I
that's
only
stuck in his
remember a
head.
quarter of
And let me tell you, this morning, he's like, hey, I'm on my way 2 hours early. Don't we start recording? And it's like, you don't remember when you do things in your real life, but you latched onto something that I wrote 5 months ago?
Like,
Damn,
I
dude.
think I remember only a quarter of what he wrote of him because I don't want to remember it. Because I'd rather it come out in game. So I'm just wondering
come
how
up.
many,
I got to get going.
how many times
something
have you reread it?
since the day?
Yeah. A few.
2.
Before every session?
There's the problem. We've
That is the
gone
problem.
back to it.
Also, thank you. I'm kind of flattered, right? Like, he doesn't remember when we record, but he remembers the following. Like, that's...
I mean, sorry to call you out on
Yeah,
that,
but also,
you're
thank
doing
you.
it to yourself at this point.
He's right. But yeah, no, I feel good about that. Thank you.
No.
I didn't think anyone actually read those NPCs of the month anymore.
I've reread a few, but it was the
Like, I mean, like, at all.
it's the older ones. So I've reread a few, but it was the prior to.
I think
releasing
CJ's
it.
the only one who reads them.
You know, I went through my computer not long ago, and I reread some of the older ones that you were sent.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
I
Like,
might.
oh man, we haven't done Xander yet.
Yeah,
No,
we did. No,
Xander
he
was
like
first.
He was so first it wasn't filed with the others. So I went like 2 years thinking we never did them.
Twice.
Jeez.
Yep. There were 2 times like I haven't done Xander yet. I have to do Xander. Nope.
Oops. But those are, those are the other
different
guys.
pack. Yeah.
And it's been fun, but it's been challenging. Bringing, getting La Magnifique. That's a pack that I'm liking,
Mm-hmm.
and it's nice to to bring them life and see that relationship with you guys. But then you have some of the townsfolk that are relevant, and then the levels of relevance, right?
Yeah. What's necessary for us to keep?
Right, like you need KT, you need her, but then what about Lucinda? How much will she factor in anymore? And how much should she factor in anymore? What about Alana or Lisa?
Mm.
Are they like they're supporting cast at this point? How supporting?
Yeah, and how much longer will they be?
Right.
Are they changing at all? Are they
Especially
changing?
after what happened.
Yeah,
See.
That's kind of the point. Yeah. Are they changing for the better, or are they changing just to fade out?
Yeah, you could never see Alana again, or you could see her a lot.
Yeah. What about the neighbor's kid or the mayor's kid?
Yeah, what happened to him?
I think.
I mean, I'm
that's-
kidding. I know.
I was gonna say. I think that's more of a plot point.
No, that is totally a flop point.
Yeah.
He's doing things. We'll find out, maybe.
See, that's where I wish Walks with Anubis.
That's a good start.
Boo Boo, if you will.
You know what? I'll roll with that.
Oh no.
Just because it's funny. Ooh, get
I
out.
would do I wish he again was maybe more experienced as a Thurge, because that whole situation with the Scrags should really freak you the fuck out. And it's not. It doesn't make sense. And that's not like an error in the writing. I did this on purpose, people.
So the way it doesn't make sense to him at all. And that's why it's not freaking him out enough.
Right. No, I get it. But, like, you know...
He doesn't have the baseline.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, that's the problem.
To where any other Thurge, you know, like if Sekhmet Rainmaker were there on scene...
You would have then laughed away.
Well, that's not what we're doing. We're not measuring.
No.
But we're going to get some more experienced Thurge.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if Dooley were there, all right?
Fair.
First of all, he'd be like, hey, fuck off.
Yeah.
If I wanted to hear your mouth, I'd pull a thing out. You know what I'm saying? Just shut the fuck up.
God, I miss Dooley.
I know, I miss Dooley too. He's such a scumbag. I love him.
I love how much of a scumbag he is.
Like, he's the worst guy. It's like he should be on It's Always Sunny. He'd fit right in.
He would.
He'd last an episode. He'd shoot Frank in the face, like, immediately. Anyway.
I had enough of your bullshit.
Yeah. Hey, shut the fuck up there, little man. What am I doing? But, you know, he'd look at that situation and go, you know, or he'd hear the story or, you know, however we're going to break that down and go like, well, Scraggs can't do that. Like, that's not what you're saying isn't possible. And I saw that shit. So if then, and he, you know, that's a character who has enough experience that he can go, if then, well, then what could be making this happen?
Mm.
And
I think what would have helped more is if Dodger reacted a little harder to it.
And that might be fair too.
In that one scene.
Which is fair. You weren't supposed to be with him.
Right. I know. I forced myself with him because I was like, I could use some training.
And I'm like, that's a really good point, but I wasn't.
You weren't.
I have to write that scene now.
Yep.
Like I was I was writing him away.
Which is probably why he said, I'm going to stay behind.
Yes, because I need him to get out of the fucking scene.
Yeah, no, I saw it. I remember it. And even at the time, I was like, yeah, we're not supposed to be there.
I am moving unfinished characters out of the scene. So I don't end up writing something that I now have to deal with and can't take back.
I get it.
Pigeonhole yourself into it and you're screwed.
All right.
But if that had happened, then yes, I'd be reacting a lot heavier to this.
No, that's fair. And, you know, it's not out of the realm, out of the character, as we've learned. I think some of us have learned recently with the MC of the Month, for him to internalize that.
That's true.
Oh, big time.
So, consistency, yay, but fuck, and, you know, at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, as, walks grows, we'll see.
Yeah.
I would hope so.
No, there's plenty of room for Boo Boo to go.
Hey, Boo Boo.
Boo Boo? Nubu? Anubis? Nubu?
Nubu?
Yeah, Nubu. This is awful.
This is really bad.
It's totally going to stick, and I absolutely don't want it to, which is probably going to make it stick harder.
Yeah.
I'll just stay quiet.
You're screwed anyway.
I know.
Like, no matter what happens.
I know. I shouldn't have voiced my opinion.
Anubu?
How about Tay-Tay?
Nope. That one I'm kiboshing.
That's
Wanu.
fair. I don't blame you.
Wanu?
We'd move on.
Guano?
Guano!
It's funny because I hated Rico and now I'm okay with it, so you can't use it against me.
It wasn't. I liked the name. That's why I was using it.
Right?
Okay, Rick O'Shea.
That's the other one.
The other thing is,
Richard
if
O'Shea?
I'm going to do it funny, I'm going to call you Rico Suave. Yeah, that one.
Rico.
Yeah, it's going to do. I'm going to roll the tongue in it. Rico Suave.
So many people are not going to get that.
Look it up. There you go.
Yeah, just look it up. You'll thank us later.
I'll pin it in the Discord somewhere.
Please. There are so many things we'll bring up. It's just kind of fun callbacks to earlier in life and a much better time. Yeah.
Also, I think before I think we should put a show on. I think
before we put a show on.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, but the question becomes, I guess, is anything? What are you looking forward to? What would you like to see before we close this sumbitch up?
More Thurge stuff for me.
I'm excited.
Try to definitely angle me that way so I can get some more footing. I need to go back and reread the book a little more.
I think that's going to be up to you, though, not to him.
But I mean, so there's been many times when I've tried to do a thing, but my dice sucked.
Get some new fucking dice, dude!
Give me the money. I even told him, there was when we were doing the trailer scene, when we first popped in, if my vision roll was going to be good, I was going to talk to a spirit. I rolled a 1. I can't see spirits. I just barely know them in the Umbra.
Do we need to add a get Tom new dice tier on Ko-Fi?
Oh, man.
Oh, we cannot sponsor Roll the Guild of Blades like fucking... I mean, we could do that today. We're not gonna. But do that today if we wanted to.
It's not about the dice.
Well, you're the one who just said it. I had ones. My dice sucked. I can't do anything.
The dice sucked on the day. They've been sucking a lot recently, but it's not a big deal. Well, eventually it'll start happening. If there's more ST steering to definitely where there's going to be spirit stuff.
I mean, there's only so much I can do.
Right. No, I get it.
Yeah, it's like I think the great example would be with Crimson Ghost. You had the mentor points, and your mentor was supposed to be Dempsey.
And you refused to talk to
Yeah, and you were like, well, how come he hasn't given me any mentor stuff? I'm like, because you've never spoken to him.
Well, now Dodger's around, so now I can go speak to him.
Yes, no, absolutely. But I mean, it's kind of that example.
Yeah.
Like, no, he's absolutely willing to help you, but he's not standing around waiting for you to...
Well, don't be
You have
wrong.
to talk to
I
him.
had attempted, and you pushed him off scene. I get it. I get it. But I'm just stating now.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm looking forward to is getting more to learn thirst, so this fucker can stop saying, "Do your thirst thing."
I stopped saying it. I gave you chapters 6 and 7.
Ooh. I'm waiting for it in chapter 8. Then.
You just learn Voice of the Jackal.
Oh.
The next time he's like, do your thirst thing. Just fucking, here's a right dick.
My name's Ricochet, damn it.
Oh, that would suck.
No, actually, I'd make you. You gotta plug your nose.
You gotta plumb my nose when I do it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's how it. Yeah, that's.
I know what right I'm buying next.
Oh, motherfucker.
That's a more of a Philodox stance of punishment, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure that's a punishment, right?
You know what? I'll just go find and buy Hush.
Oh, that sucks.
All right.
I will say there is somebody who has eyes on that, right?
I know. I bet you do.
Whoever could that be?
Danny, CJ, what's up?
Something I'm really looking forward to, and I was going to bring it up earlier, but now definitely feels like a better time. Next time we actually get to hang out with Far 4 more, Night Fang might be looking to spar/learn from him some more. Maybe see if get a dot for or start working towards a dot of some Kylindo stuff. Bring in some of the not Far 4, Falling Leaf.
That's I was gonna say.
Yeah, they bonded together so much. But yeah,
Far Falling Leaf.
Working with Falling Leaf to possibly learn more about Star User stuff / learn some possible moves for him to use.
You could also talk to Dodger.
Yeah. I was going to say, if you can do it with Far 4, you get a dot and drinking wine.
Excuse me, the stat is called alcoholism.
That man puts back some wine, okay?
He's French. What do you want from him?
Nothing.
I mean, could say I want more wine. That's what you want.
I want cheese with that wine.
Just glad no one said I want to learn how to surrender.
Oh, well, you did that to yourself.
I did it to everybody. Danny?
Rico?
I love the mystery. Your writing, it's always been such a huge part of this game, is unveiling the mystery piece by piece, layer by layer. And with this one especially, as we're learning that mystery and we get another layer from somewhere else just happens to jump on top again. So we learn a thing and we figure out a thing, but then more questions keep coming up. I fucking love that. It's fun to try and figure out. It's fun to speculate in my head. But at the same time, it's also kind of a burden because I want to go and try and figure these things out, but it's also throwing the pack off in certain directions. It's also throwing you off for your writing. So I'm trying to figure out that fine line where I gotta walk and decide on what's important to figure out and what's not important. I can leave it off till later. But I do. I love the mystery behind this. It's one of my favorite parts of your writing.
You're screwing with his tinfoil hats. That's what you're doing.
Maybe just take a normal hat and cover it in tinfoil versus just making one out of it.
Well, just pick a lane. Mm-hmm. It was the start. That's just advice. I mean, I ain't real that. For me, no one asked, but fuck it, it's my show.
I just thought you were going to respond to me before I asked you. That's all.
Oh, well, sweet. I did, and then I cut
Pick a lane is what my answer is.
Kind of, yeah. You
right.
know, I mean, obviously, I'm not spoil anything for any of you guys, but I'm just curious and excited to hear what you guys think, and so cool. You'll probably get everything you guys are asking for, and
I imagine
not
so.
because you've asked it, but because I want to give a great experience anyway. Like, guess what? All that shit was already going to happen, probably, except for you quit waylaying it, and then
Stop jumping the line. Just pick one.
yeah, pick a lane. You'll get your fucking answers.
Fair. So then, us as players, what are you hoping we accomplish, and what are you hoping, like, directions we go as a pack?
No, I see. I can't answer that because that's going to influence a thing. So, like, I won't answer that, but I will say I am looking forward. I got a few more scenes that I have been sitting on for a while.
That you've already written, just got to figure out
like
where
in my
they're
head.
going?
Yeah, like it's not time for them yet.
Okay.
I am excited to follow up on the Ghost Girl. That's going to be cool.
To follow my Strider stuff.
I have a scene in mind that I think will make Danny throw up.
Wow.
Just make sure you have a bucket over there.
So I am really excited. Like, if I do it right, I'm going to make you physically ill.
So if I see a bucket the next time we game.
Well, no, that'll give anything away. So, but I've got a thing that's pretty fucked up. And knowing how you react to stuff, I think maybe I'm going to make you sick a little bit. And that's going to be my new...
I'm excited for that now.
I'm disturbed, but I'm a little excited.
After, coughing up pattern spiders, I'm curious to see what comes next.
Oh, that ain't nothing. That ain't
Dude, nothing. Absolutely nothing.
It's going to be... I'm really excited for that. I have a few more creatures.
I was going to ask.
I've been really happy with my creature design. I think my creature design game has been on point this time around. Between the cedars and our little, I don't even name them, but the little
baby caterpillar babies.
Things, yeah. Like, I didn't even have a name for them. Those are neat. There's a couple more creatures I have in the chamber.
Ooh.
That I'm excited for, like I've been happy with that creature design. And
what were the stomach ones again? What'd you call them?
Oh, the Gutweilers.
Gutweiler.
Like a Rottweiler, but a gut.
Yes, I know. I got it.
Yum.
That's a
yum.
It's funny, and we do have to get going.
Yeah.
But Grant, I was talking with him last night about the next creature you guys are going to encounter.
Okay.
Of course, that's friend of the show, C. Grant Rose. Little nod for you, buddy. You ain't gonna listen to the show anyway.
Unless he's on it.
Yeah, you ain't gonna hear this one. No, but I was talking with him last night, and I brought it up, and he has a friend who is an artist, and he's like, "Oh, I want to, you gotta give me that, give me that description when you've got this thing finished. I want to see if maybe, it's like, oh man, I want to see the Gutweiler.
Ooh,
like I want to see that thing drawn out by
God, yeah."
That thing is gross.
Yeah,
it's
it
great.
Is. Like, I see it like
Gutweiler with the little caterpillar baby things around it.
Like walking it like a dog?
I think it'd be trying to eat them.
Yeah.
Which is funny because they run in your mouth. So it's a fucking mutually beneficial situation they got going.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. I think I want to throw up.
And see, that ain't even it. That's not even near the thing.
I know.
You'll hear all about it. There are things that I've written that I'm super proud of. So this is going to be one of them. But hey, it is that time, unfortunately. We want to thank you so much for stopping by, for listening to us kind of rant and ramble for the last 90 minutes or so. Thank you always for listening, for your support. Again, if you're not supporting us, maybe you can check out our Ko-Fi. There's a link at the website, Discord, blah, blah, blah. But really, on behalf of CJ, Daniel Tyson, Tommy Dixon, and myself, we want to say take care of yourselves, take care of each other, keep your claws sharp, your head in a swivel. We'll see you. Four, 5, 6, you're under arrest, Avenue.
Yes.
At the corner of Law and Order.
Oh, he did it. He did it.
Dun
Well
dun
done.